She was the kind of student you never worry about. Straight A's, honor roll, driven, the kind every parent hopes that they're raising. And the most important thing that she learned in high school didn't happen in a single one of her classes. It happened behind the counter of a coffee shop. I'll tell you what it cost her to learn it. Stay with me. Here's what I tell every parent who will listen. Have your teen get a job. Let me show you why. Through her. When she started at that coffee shop, something happened that I didn't expect. She made friends, not with the kids from her own school, with teenagers from other schools that she never would have crossed paths with in her life. Different neighborhoods, different worlds. Some of those friendships she still has today. That's the part that parents forget. A teen's whole social world is in one building, the same faces since freshman year. A job cracks that open. But that's not the lesson. The real lesson was harder, and she never saw it coming. Here's a kid who believes something that school had taught her since kindergarten. Hard work, do the right thing, and you get rewarded. That's how school works. You study, you earn the A, you show up, you earn the credit. The coffee shop did not work like that. She said yes to every shift. Every time they needed her, she was there. She wanted to be great at this because she wanted to be great at everything. She wasn't chasing a promotion. This was a high school job, a paycheck for now, not her career. But she noticed something that she couldn't unsee. The employees who blew off shifts, the ones who did half the work and didn't take it seriously, they were the ones getting promoted. She wasn't jealous. She didn't want their spot. She was just stunned because in school, that's not how it works. In school, the kid who works the hardest earns the recognition. The coffee shop did not run on that deal. Sit with that for a second. Because that's a lesson school literally cannot teach, and it got more complicated. There was a coworker who screamed at the high school employees. It was so bad that another coworker reported it to the manager, and the manager did nothing. Here's what breaks my heart about that. She didn't even know it was wrong. She had never had a job before, so she assumed that this is how it goes. Fast pace, high stress, people yell. She thought she was the one who needed to toughen up. She knows now that that was not okay. She learned to recognize it. She learned that a person can have a title, a manager's badge, real power over you, and still be someone that you can't trust. She learned that at 16, not 26. This is the part that I need you to hear. Everything that girl went through, I would wish on your teen too. Not because I want them to struggle, because I want them to learn it now, while the only thing on the line is a part-time paycheck. Think about the alternative. The first time your teen discovers that a boss can be unfair, that effort isn't always rewarded, that some adults in charge have not earned your trust, do you want that to happen at a coffee shop at 16 or at a career where they spent 4 years of college and thousands of dollars chasing? A first job is a practice field. The stakes are low, but the lessons are real. And this is the whole point. Now I know that some of you are still doing the college math in your head. Does a job actually help her get in? I'll be honest with you. Yes, a job counts as an activity, the same as a club or a sport. Colleges do notice a teen who holds down a real responsibility. But that's the smallest reason that I'm telling you any of this. Here's the bigger one. Every application is full of the same polished activities. After a while, they all blur together. A real job with real struggle hands your teens something most applicants will never have, a true story in their own words. The best college essays that I've ever read were not about the trophy or the title. They were about the messy human moment a kid finally understands something about the world. A coffee shop can hand your teen that moment. Now, one honest warning, because a job can also tip too far. She struggled with balance. She told her manager that she wanted to work 2 to 3 days a week. She ended up working well over 20 hours, again and again. The shop leaned on her commitment, and she let them because saying no felt like failing. So what's the solution? How do we get all the benefits without the burnout? Luckily, the research gives us a very clear answer. A large study in the Journal of Child Development found that when teens work 20 hours a week or more during the school year, it's linked to lower grades and more behavior problems. But under 20 hours, no such harm. In fact, teens who work between 1 and 20 hours are more likely to go to college than teens who don't work at all or who work too much. So the sweet spot is real. A job, yes, but capped at 15 to 20 hours a week during the school year. That's the version that builds your teen up instead of wearing them down. And if your teen can't hold the line at first, that's not a reason to quit. That's the exact skill that they're there to practice. Saying no, protecting their own time. You can coach that, and it isn't only the hard lessons. I had another student who took a job at a daycare. She knew that she liked kids, but she had never once pictured herself as a teacher. 6 months in, she knew. That job showed her who she wanted to become. I had another student who learned something simpler and just as important. If you don't show up for a job, you get fired. Fast. Miss school, you get a detention and a talk to you from the dean. But you miss work, you're done. That's a lesson about the real world that no syllabus delivers. Some teens find a passion, some find out what they don't want. That's not wasted time, that's clarity. Years before they would have gotten it otherwise. And there's one more thing that first job did for my honor roll student, something that nobody could have planned. There was a regular customer that she got to know over the counter. Small talk at first, his usual order, how his day was going. It turned out that he was a senior executive at a company in the exact field that she would go on to study in college. She had no idea at the time. Years later, when she was in college, she figured out how to reach back out to him, and he remembered her. He told her what to focus on. He gave her interview advice. He offered to get her an interview for a summer internship at his own company. A coffee shop counter connected her to a real career door. Not because she got lucky, because a job put her in front of somebody that she would have never met inside of her high school, and because she had the courage to follow up years later. That's a skill too, recognizing an open door and walking through it. So what did that coffee shop really cost this girl? The one you would have never worried about. Some hard nights, some tears, a year or two of learning the world isn't run on the fairness that she grew up believing in. But what she walked away with, she still carries with her today. Real friendships from outside her bubble, a career connection that she made over that counter and had the nerve to use, the ability to spot a bad boss, the knowledge that hard work is still worth doing even when nobody claps for it, and a backbone she didn't have before she clocked in. She looked fine on the outside the whole time, straight A's, never complained, but what was happening underneath was the real education. Here's your real small step this week. You don't have to solve the whole future. Just have one conversation. Ask your teen if they'd want to try a part-time job, a few hours, somewhere low pressure, not for the money, not for the resume, for the person that'll help them become. That's it. One conversation, one open door. If you want help sorting out what actually matters during the high school years and what doesn't, I made a free guide for you. It's called the High School Roadmap Every Parent Needs to Succeed. It's 8 pages, and it's the thing I wish every parent knew. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. And if this one hit home, don't stop here. A job is one piece of getting your teen ready for the life waiting for them after high school. There's a bigger picture. This next video is where I show you the one thing the well-meaning parents do senior year that quietly leaves their teens unready to stand on their own. It picks up right where this one leaves off. So go watch that one next, and I'll meet you over there. Your teen is more ready for the real world than you think. Sometimes they just need you to open the door.